Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I will present the epidemiological situation of measles elimination in the Republic of Moldova 2006-2015. So measles is an important threat, for an international important threat, due to her serious consequences. Due to this, vaccination against measles in the Republic of Moldova started in 1962. In the period of vaccination of 1962 to 2005, the average annual incidence was 130 per 100,000 population, in comparison with pre-vaccination period when it was 900 cases per 100,000 population. Due to the directives and international strategy of elimination, in 2006, a national elimination strategy of measles was implemented. The objective of the study is to describe epidemiological situation of measles and to recommend best action for achieving goal of elimination of measles in the Republic of Moldova. This is a descriptive epidemiological study. We calculated annual measles incidence and vaccination coverage rates for each dose of measles, mumps, and rubella vaccine, MMR. We stratified it by age groups, rural and urban areas, and administrative territories. Data was collected from annual reports of public health centers. This is the distribution of measles morbidity per 1,000 population, depending on the disease cycle. So we could see that from 62 to 64, the incidence was 483 cases per 100,000 population. And till 2008-2015, we achieved 0.12 cases per 100,000. We started to achieve best performance and indicators since 1999, when it was 10 cases incidence. And we implemented the 2 doses of MMR in 2002 and made a vaccination campaign due to a large outbreak that was registered in that year. Another vaccination campaign was done in 2008 due to the mumps outbreak. And in 2011, we introduced the third dose of MMR. The distribution of measles by age group, we could see that the most affected group is the adults and the children more than 14 years. It constitutes 35%. The second one is 7-14 years with 26%, and the less affected is 0.2 years, 0 to 2 years, 14%. On distribution by living areas and rural and urban, we could see that till 86 we had the distribution in urban twice more than in the rural ones. And after this, the difference was not significant. But from the period of study, we saw that the urban areas has a higher risk with 1.4 than 1 to rural area. We have here 3 maps of Moldova in 3 different periods. This is the incidence per 100,000 population. And we can see that from 93 to 2001, 7 territories reported more than 15 cases. And only 5 of them reported less than 10. During the large outbreak from 2002, more than 70% of territories reported more than 150 cases. Beside the 4 territories which reported less than 50, which could be the reasons of under-reporting of a surveillance system. But after the initiate and implementation of the national strategy of elimination, 19 territories didn't report any cases of measles, And only 5 administrative territories reported from 3 to 1 cases per 100,000, which is a good indicator. This is the vaccination coverage, and we could see the incidence. In average, the vaccination coverage is more than 90%. And from 78, we had the incidence of 600 cases. And till 2015, we didn't register any cases. But if we are looking with more attention to this slide, we could see that from 2007, when we had the vaccination coverage of 95%, it's slightly decreased to 88.2 to 2015. But for the incidence, we had the same, we could say that we achieved some goals in elimination. Due to that, we had registered less than 1 case per 1 million population. Due to high vaccination coverage and vaccination campaigns, no cases were registered from 2008 and 2011 and 2015. 84 cases were registered from 2006 to 2015 with an incidence of 0.2 per 100,000 population, which is a good indicator, but we had to be 0.1. And the highest incidence registered in age group from 3 to 6 years is 1.3 per 100. And only 18 from 37 territories registered measles cases. Decrease in vaccination coverage of MMR leads to accumulation of susceptible persons in time. Urban regions have higher risk of measles than the rural ones. And since 2006, only secondary cases linked to imported were registered. Due to the implementation of MMR vaccines and vaccination campaigns, implementation of elimination strategy, we reduced and maintained annual measles incidence. The recommendations is to identify vaccination gaps and potential risk groups, to develop a catch-up vaccination campaign, to perform workshops with medical staff on false contraindication and update the legal framework. The risk groups are hard to identify and further studies are needed. And the most important is to develop communication strategies to achieve goals for elimination due to the increases of awareness of importance of vaccination. Thank you.
Thank you, Alexei. You give us insight into the epidemiological situation in Moldova. You finish all these things in an appropriate time. So please, the questions.
No, my question was, I mean, no one has 100% coverage, but where do you see the biggest challenge? Is this health system performance, or do you also have an issue with growing vaccine hesitancy, as we are seeing in many other European countries?
One of the important issues that we observed is that the medical staff are not taking in account the awareness, to increase the awareness of importance of vaccination, and they prescribe more of false contraindications like hemangioma, anemia, and others, or neurologic disruptions, which are real, not a false contraindications. Another one is the bad strategies that we have now in communication with population, and we are still working in completing a plan on communication, which will include all the decision makers and to take the experience of other countries who succeed that.
Thank you.
We have a microphone. Okay, thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much for this very clear presentation and very informative presentation. I would ask for another information about the age-specific distribution. Is there any change in this distribution among time? because this allows you to identify high-risk group maybe to be targeted by a vaccine campaign. Do you have this information?
Yes, I have information. I had a study. I made a study from 52 to 2015, with and we could see, and like from other countries' experience, it's that after the vaccination, the age group of adults and those who are more than 14 years are more susceptible and registered with measles cases. And due to this, we implemented then the third doses. One more that, like I said, we had only cases which are linked to important ones. So this is another risk from Romania, the last outbreak that we had it, and the low vaccination coverage from Ukraine. So we had more like taking the cases from Russia, Romania, and Ukraine. And we saw some distributable in the age group, but it's more specific to those, let's to say, the pocket who is there.
Thank you.
Yes, please. Please always introduce yourself.
Hello. Good evening. My name is Dr. Yasser. I'm from Palestine. My question is, as you shown in one of your slides, that the incidence is fall down. In 2003 till 2007, the incidence was 0.67. And after that, you initiate and implement the third dose of MMR. Is it a cost-effective strategy once the incidence is lowering with 2 doses, knowing that it's not a WHO recommendation to have a third dose MMR? And the cost of the vaccine itself is high. So I don't know why you started to give the third dose of MMR. Would you clarify, please?
Sorry. Thank you for your question. I think we are only of the countries that are making the third dose of MMR, and it was implemented with arguments that it's more cost effectiveness to stop the cases at to not register the cases in the age group more than 14 years. And to take in account and rubella and mumps, which we prevented with a third dose. And WHO, I think from last year, we had an assessment, and they said that this implementation of a third dose, it's one of success due to the last situation in the world. I don't know if I clarified you very well for all arguments, but I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think that the primary reason was attempt to control mumps outbreak in Moldova, as you know, because of the lower effectiveness of the mumps component of MMR. For sure, it was not because of the measles, because of the mumps. Yeah. Okay. Please.
No,
microphone.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Here.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for the beautiful presentation. So I'm Senad Begic, MediPIET second cohort fellow. The question is regarding the schedule of the immunizations. So can you just give us the age when the vaccines are given, and once you have successfully controlled the outbreak, are there any plans or thoughts about stopping the third MMR dose? Or are you going to continue giving it in the future?
Thank you, Senat. The national immunization schedule of MMR, it's the first dose, it's on 22-24 months. The second one, it's at 6 and 7 years. And the third one is at 15 years. And yes, we will continue with MMR. We'll try to manage in time. So.
Okay, thanks, Alexei. I think that we need to finish with the questions for this first presentation. We still have another one about measles, so we will continue maybe this. Thank you, Alexei.